All right. Superman is going woke again, I think. Like, didn't he go woke like 5 times before? Like, there was the one time that he was gay or something, or his son. Like, I don't. Like, he's a illegal immigrant. Like, that's the whole. That's the whole. Like, he literally dropped in as an alien, like a literal like extraterrestrial alien, into the middle of what was it, Kansas? Like he literally just. You want to talk about an anchor baby? Like, he dropped like a anchor into the middle of the United goddamn States. He's not even technically a citizen, but they just never addressed that. But now it's going woke. So I don't know anything about the Superman. I haven't watched the trailer. This came out before the movie dropped, so Ben Shapiro has not seen it yet. But I guess he has a lot of thoughts about the trailer. The like to dislike ratio. Oh yeah, it is a bit wide there, isn't it? Like, it's still more likes than dislikes, but my goodness, it is not looking too hot, I must say. I have seen better days for the like to dislike ratio bar. All right, let's find out why Superman woke this time.
Now,
is he trans?
Much lighter news. I just wanted to comment.
Is he a black woman? What's going on?
On the fact Superman is coming out this week. So, of course, this is much lighter news. Superman, the new movie from James Gunn. I've been a little skeptical of it because I think that James Gunn, he's fine for Guardians of the Galaxy, but Superman is a more serious property. The reason that it's relevant politically is...
Wait. I don't know if Superman is, like, more serious. Like, they're both Superman, like superhero movies. I don't know, like, I guess you could make a fair case, but like Guardians of the Galaxy, while comedic in nature, has a lot of serious moments. I don't know. I just feel like that's, you know, reducing it quite a bit.
Because when we talk about the left and the left in the media, and then we talk about the left in Hollywood, the level of out of touchness with the everyday American is truly insane, truly crazy. So James Gunn did an interview with the Times of London, and he was talking about the themes in Superman. And he explained.
I think that's also reducing it, though. There are plenty of people in Hollywood that make beautiful content, you know, like beautiful movies. There is certainly a level of disconnect that a lot of these producers have. But, like, there's a lot of artistry still there and a lot of people who are still connected with their humanity and can make good pieces of art. I'm trying to think of a recent good movie. Man, it's been a minute since I've actually been to the movie. You know what? I'll just embarrass myself. Never mind.
The superhero epic encompasses the story of America. He said, Superman is the story of America. An immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it is mostly a story that's as basic human kindness as...
I knew it. It was the immigrant shit. But, like, that's the story. He's literally... It doesn't get further away from America than off of the planet. Like, yes, he is literally an immigrant. If ever we find an intelligent species like us, like let's say just for, like... fat chance, but like, let's say that we find Krypton, right? Let's just say Krypton's real. Okay, Krypton, it exists now, right? Some parents from Krypton, like some evil guy blows up their planet or whatever the happens. I don't know the plot, except that Superman gets drop-shipped here by his parents. If that happened, if conservatives had it their way, we would immediately jail that baby. Like, we would, or execute the baby for being an illegal immigrant. Like, that's what they would do. Literally, or like try to track down, we would spend like billions of dollars on space exploration to track down their disgusting parents who dare try to save their baby and give him a better future by sending him away from the dangerous state of their home planet, right? Like, Christ almighty. Yeah, it's 1-to-1. Intelligent species like us. Listen, I'm exaggerating. Only select members of us are that intelligent.
Value, and is something that we have lost.
I get it, but for all intents and purposes,
effectively, that Superman is kind of an illegal immigrant. Gunn acknowledged the movie's themes may be interpreted differently across political groups, especially considering the nationwide unrest around immigration. However, Gunn stands by the ideals embedded in Superman and added he doesn't care if anyone takes offense. Yes, it plays differently, but it's about human kindness, and obviously there will be jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as offensive just because it is about kindness. But screw them. And then he says, yes, it's about politics.
Is kindness woke now? I thought we learned that in kindergarten. What's next? Is 2 + 2 = 4 woke? Because what if it doesn't? Do your own research. Sweat. Like, how far are we going to take this? Like, what about sharing? Is sharing... No, they've actually made this case. Like, sharing is caring is, like, woke now. There were posters that were hanging in schools that, like, the government in the state forced them to... It was, like, in Mississippi or some shit, where the government forced them to take it down, and all it said was, like, inclusiveness or some shit. Like, I don't remember the details, but trust me on this. You should trust everything that I say, is what I'm trying to say. And that definitely happened in exactly the way that I said it happened.
But on another level, it's about
morality. All woke now.
I do not understand the necessity.
Krypton blew up because their government ignored Superman's scientist parents about climate change. It's even better. I oversimplified the shit out of it. But like even the Superman comic, the superhero comic, took a real problem that our planet is currently experiencing, mind you, and showed that like, yeah, this is the result of that. Now we have to drop our child into foreign land in hopes that he will grow up having a better life because our government f***ed us. Like, it's so funny when they try to tell us, like, Star Wars, not political. No. Definitely not political. No. Like, dog, did we watch the same movie? Like, it's literally called Star Wars. Wars. Do you think wars are non-political? Come on, brother.
For all of these Hollywood folks to undercut the pitch of their own film before it even comes out. It's insane. It's totally insane. By the way, David Corenswet did the exact same thing. Corenswet refused to say truth.
I am drinking just a tiny bit tonight. I do want to be more transparent about that. Not too much,
justice and the American way in a recent interview. Instead, he said truth, justice, and all that good stuff because he doesn't want to say the American way. The reality that Hollywood is so far to the left that they cannot take a core piece of Americana and just say it's about America. This has been a problem since basically after the original Christopher Reeve series. Every single iteration of Superman that's been made since then has avoided truth, justice, and the American way because they just refuse to acknowledge the American way is good, that the American way is in fact unique. And this lies at the root of a leftist worldview. That leftist worldview is astonishingly anti-American. It really is. This hardcore left worldview that says that America is somehow uniquely bad. So if there's...
It's not anti-American to be a fucking leftist, man. Like, we're more patriotic than you motherfuckers. We believe in freedom of speech. As opposed to Ben Shapiro, who cheered on, what's his face? A bunch... I could name several people, actually, that were just picked up by masked officers because they were, like, pro-Palestine once. Who's that guy who missed the birth of his child? The birth of his child, man. Because he decided he didn't like... Mahmoud Khalil, thank you. Because he decided that genocide's bad. And he said, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe Israel shouldn't do that. He said, hey, he was like, hey, maybe Israel is engaging in some bad activity right now. And our government was like, no free speech for you. You've shit on the flag rhetorically. Like, like ideologically, you hate this country. You hate it here. Maybe you should move. Maybe you should be deported, Ben Shapiro.
It's a comic book
character. Go live in Israel. Like, I don't understand this. Why doesn't he go live in Israel? I don't understand. Like, if Israel's so great, go live there, man. You move.
This hardcore left worldview that says that America is somehow uniquely bad. So if there is a comic book character who is built on the goodness of America, which is what Superman really is about. If Superman is an immigration story, you know, for those
Superman was never about the goodness of America. Like, he was if I recall correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, sure. But if I understand correctly, here's my understanding of Superman. I'll just give it to you straight, what I think of him. I think that he was written by, obviously, a comic artist who wanted to make some statements about politics while also showing off the cool man in underwear that he wears on the outside of his tights, who can lift a lot of heavy weight and fly around and beat up evil people. Like, that's Superman in a nutshell. But like, and then he was kind of propagandized as like this all-American good boy, right? Looks kind of the same as Captain America, right? But it was never like the series was never just about being pro-America. It was about the core of the series of the Superman comics is a man who struggles with having the power to do anything but needing to control it and put his own checks and balances on it. Like, that's really what it's about. It was never about the goodness of America and how great our country is. That's silly. That's baby brain.
Not familiar with the origin
story. You bought the
of
propaganda.
Superman, who comes from the planet Krypton and then lands in America and then is brought up in a Midwestern household on a farm.
Also, he's literally an immigrant. Like, if Superman ran for president, he legally would not be allowed to run. He wouldn't even be allowed to run for president. He wasn't born here.
By his adoptive parents and
integrated. What do you mean it's about America?
American values, and then goes to Metropolis and brings his sort of country values to the big city where crime is rife and where everybody is too cynical and sophisticated. And the whole point of Superman is that he's bringing these kind of classic American values to the big city. It's a
one of the main villains of Superman. Even I know this. It's Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor was not some like off the street drug lord who like did nasty crimes behind closed doors. Like, no, he was like a rich billionaire. He was like Elon Musk, but actually smart and competent. He was the rich asshole that Superman fought. Like, you could read a lot into that just from that premise alone. That capitalism is fucked up. That a person that evil should not get that much power, have that much access to technology that it can use to destroy the planet. Like, the main villain in Superman is a billionaire. Hello? He was an oligarch. I don't know Superman that well, but I know that much.
Riff on how New York kind of sucks in many ways, actually. Superman, the original, is very much about how the values of America are farm-bred and farm-born. Right? His moral center, his moral compass.
Like you, Ben Shapiro, you were farm-bred and farm-born. Farm boy Ben Shapiro, who is famous for his image of buying a single wooden board from Home Depot and then bragging about it on the Bird app. Ben Shapiro that I could chuck across a football field soaking wet twice. Come on, man.
Superman is on the farm from his parents.
Who can't grow a proper beard.
That's why he takes the name Clark Kent. He's an immigrant who assimilates to American values. And then brings the...
He takes the name Clark Kent because he was an infant. And that's the name that his adopted parents gave him. If he had drop shipped here when he was like 8 years old, and he had been called like Zigamatron 9000 or whatever the fuck they named, like their naming scheme on Krypton is, I have no idea. Zigamatron. He would have kept the name probably. Maybe not, but like that would still be his birth name. At least we could explore that a little bit more. But he took the name Clark Kent because that's the name. Okay, man.
His classic American values to the big city.
Kal-El? Oh, is that his original name? I guess he did have one, right? Like his parents must have named him, like his birth parents. They have surnames first? I kind of like that better. Call me a weeb, right? But like Luffy D. Monkey does not sound correct. Monkey D. Luffy sounds very correct. Same with Monkey D. Garp and Monkey D. Dragon. Porcus D. Ace sounds much nicer than Ace D. Porcus. I do think that like imagine me, Gunter D. Alec. I think that rolls off the tongue quite nicely, actually. The creator of Star Wars literally said about the Vietnam War and the Empire's America, and the prequels are about how democracy becomes fascist. Yeah, I feel like I had that in the recesses of my brain. Thank you for bringing it up. Trump is actually doing everything Palpatine did. That's a stretch and a half, man. I would say he's just as evil, but far less competent. Also, Superman was created by 2 Jewish immigrants in 1938, and the term American way was just supposed to sound cool. It was never about being pro-America, but that's just how it always has been perceived. Regardless, Better Tomorrow sounds better anyway. Yeah, like, it's fine. Like, I'm not opposed to American propaganda in theory, in concept, okay? I think that America... like, it can be cool, right? Like, it's cool here. Our holidays are cool. You know, our technology is sometimes cool. Now that I think, okay, listen, hear me out. Hear me out. It's great here. Hold on. I got this. No, but in all seriousness, American values like freedom, like democracy, although that's kind of going by the wayside now. Like the right to defend yourself, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that my father loves to bring up, like in the conversation I just had with him. I like these things. I like the idea of promoting and defending these things, okay? Even the flag kind of grew on me a little bit. It's a silly-looking flag. I think it could be simplified down a little bit, but you know what? Fine. I think just one big star. One big star instead of like 50 divided stars, right? I think that would look better, personally. Maybe instead of the red and white, we go for, I don't know, what would be like out there, but also kind of cool, right? Like, red and white and blue is just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's too attached to America. Let's leave the red and white stripes, but like one big star, fine. Point being, there are a lot of values that I like about America. I'm fine with shilling American propaganda and being like, America's great, whatever. But like, can we actually make sure that the values we're shilling are good ones?
Where he has to use them to defend the big city from enemies, foreign and domestic. I mean, the original Superman is literally punching Hitler in the face. In the comics, he literally punches Hitler in the face.
Good.
So, you know, the attempt to separate Superman off from America is just a demonstration by the cultural left of how much they dislike America. And that's no shock, because when you take that over into the political sphere, full scale, what you end up is...
But nothing they said was wrong, though. Like, he is an immigrant. He is. Like, you can dress it up anyway. He hasn't said it's wrong, by the way. He said a lot of things about this guy, but one thing he has not called him is wrong.
Different kind of immigrant, like the guy who may be the next mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani. So, if you have a choice,
Mamdani,
come to the United States, yes, on alien spacecraft, and land, and then are integrated into America and imbibe from the wellspring of American values, or Zohran Mamdani, you should pick Superman, because Zohran Mamdani is a disaster area. This guy is likely to be the next mayor of New York, and his absolute deep hatred for the country is so clearly apparent in every...
But, like, what has he said? Give me, like, one quote. One quote. Anything from Mamdani. Anything. I'll take anything that demonstrates that he hates America. Anything at all. Like, that could even be interpreted as him hating America. Anything. Anything. Leave it in the comments.
Everything that he's been doing for years.
And if you can't think of anything, leave something else in the comments. It helps the algorithm.
On end. Again, he only became an American citizen.
Tell me how cool I am.
So, he put out a tweet in 2020 that showed him flipping off a statue of Christopher Columbus with the caption, "Take it down." Because the idea is that Christopher Columbus is somehow deeply bad and deeply evil.
He is. Oh, we have to censor the we have to censor the flipping off. No, that's bad. That's censorship, Ben. I thought we were all about American values here. That's American as You know how often I see this on the road? Okay? I take this as a sign that I am driving down an American highway right there. That is American as apple pie. Oh, I thought we were anti-censorship here. I thought that censorship was anti-American. Yeah, Christopher Columbus. Actually, while we were in the Dominican Republic, fun fact, I didn't know this. That's actually where Christopher Columbus had his house. Funny story. Our tour guide told us that it was destroyed. Isn't that funny? His house, like the ruins of his house remain. I forget the story about why it was destroyed, but some faction came in and just tore it down. And that made me happy inside. I didn't go to see it personally, because if I had, I probably would have pissed on it and gotten in trouble. Yeah, I found that fascinating and also hilarious. Yeah, that guy. Rest in piss.
Now, first of all, Zohran Mamdani is not native to these shores.
It's funny, too, because... Sorry, I keep pausing. It's funny, too, because, like, everybody universally agrees, including the Spanish that sent him there, like the monarchs that sent him there, who were also assholes. But even they were like, dog, maybe it's going a little bit too far to chop off the hands of your slaves and force them to wear them as necklaces. You know? Like, what does Ben Shapiro think about that? Because that is historical fact, mind you. Okay? Let's say that Christopher Columbus was a saint in every other regard. Can we at least agree that that was a little bit up even for the time, you know? Like, it goes beyond just, like, owning slaves. Even if you argue that that was just a happenstance of the time, the shit that he did was obscene. Obscene! It goes, like, it boggles the mind that anybody would defend him, Ben. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah, Christopher Columbus. I hope he's burning in hell right alongside Hitler.
Bad and deeply evil. Now, first of all, Zohran Mamdani is not native to these shores, any more than the white people who preceded him are native to these shores.
Neither was
any
Columbus,
more than
by
the
the
Native
way.
Americans who came across a land bridge tens of thousands of years ago are...
Wait, whoa, hold on. That's where you lose me, dog. Okay, technically, the Native Americans... What did he say, Native Americans?
Any more than the Native Americans who came across...
Okay, wait. Let's hear that sentence again, just real quick.
Evil. Now, first of all, Zohran Mamdani is not native to these shores.
Not
any
native.
more than the white people who preceded him are native to these shores.
Right.
Any more than the Native Americans who...
Okay, so just so I'm clear, the Native Americans are not native to these shores. The Native Americans are not native to the American shores. Is that what I'm hearing from Mr. Intellect Ben Shapiro? Now, I may be a little tipsy right now, but even I can tell you that that does not add up, my friend. Okay? The math ain't mathin'. I think if you're referring to them, which I get his point, and maybe I'm being a little pedantic, let's give him the maximum amount of credit that we can. What he meant was the nomads that came from across the the Asian American ice continent, right? The ice bridge. That's what he's talking about. But dog, if you're going to talk about who's native to this country, you need to be more responsible with your rhetoric. You just said the Native Americans are not native to America. That's insane work, dude. Are you listening to yourself?
Came across a land bridge tens of thousands of years ago are originally native to these shores. I mean, again, the way that human migration works is that it comes in waves.
The Native Americans are not native to America. According to Ben Shapiro.
There are no human natives to anything because, of course, there were no humans. But
No. That's not true either. Because if you go like way back, right? Let's take it scientifically and go like way back to the first bacterium that ever formed. Okay? In the primordial soup. It's called the primordial soup for those who don't know. The earth was once a horrific, chaotic place. And out of the chaos sprung what I will refer to as a bacterium because I don't know what we would actually call it. That bacterium sprung out of to life and was native to wherever it sprung out. So, however far back you go in the human lineage, at some point, something was native to some place. Like, that is a fact. Like, you can say that we're native to, like, the Pacific Ocean or whatever, wherever the primordial soup was. Again, maybe I'm being pedantic. But I'm just saying, like, Mr. Intellectual here, you're not making much sense to me.
If you are talking about Zohran Mamdani flipping off Columbus, you wouldn't even be in New York if it weren't for Columbus. You would not be in America if it were not for Columbus. You can flip off the people.
There are a lot of kids who wouldn't be here if their mom hadn't been. What's your point? There are a lot of black people who wouldn't be here if their parents, their great-great-great-grandparents hadn't been kidnapped. And often, mind you. Okay? I guess we're just running defense for anything that resulted in me being here, being spit out by chance onto this land.
Who opened the continent to your presence here, Zohran Mamdani. But
for all you know, you wouldn't be here if Hitler hadn't killed 6 million Jews. Just throwing that out there.
It's so clear what he thinks of the country.
I like to use the ad space to shill my own shit now, so it has not been working. Many of you have not even gone to check my Etsy page. You haven't even given me the courtesy of looking, sir, madam, or other. Go check it out. I make all kinds of cool stuff. Little doodads that are definitely not Pokemon and the like. Go buy my stuff. If you're going to waste your money on anything, waste it on my useless junk. Okay? I'm gonna leave you right there, little guy, little buddy, little duck monster friend to accompany us on this journey. I'm sorry that I'm exposing you to this failure of a man, but alas, I created you only to torture you, my son.
And of course, he got this from his parents.
Etsy.com/shop/GunterGrabs.
His parents are Indian born. And they also are immigrants to the United States who have taken advantage of literally every privilege America has to offer. That includes his father, Professor Mahmoud Mamdani of Columbia University.
Mahmoud!
Who hates the country, legitimately hates the country. Talks about how America is the settler colonialist state. Okay, so
it's so crazy. Like, they say that he hates the country because he engaged in civil rights activism. Like the nurse video that we did. If you didn't watch that, go watch it. It's very good. The Patriot Nurse video that we did forced me to look into his parents' background a little bit. And literally what the guy did was engage in civil rights activism in the South. And they say that's why his parents hated the country. Okay.
So you can go. Seriously, you can go anytime. Or you can sit there in the privileged seat at Columbia University, pulling down a giant paycheck while your son...
I have a proposition. If you love Israel so much, go live there. You love it so much, go live there, Benny boy. I mean, they have nothing but benefits for you because you're Jewish, right? I'm sure you could be all buddy-buddy with, what's his face, Bibi, as he bombs more Palestinian children. You can go both sit and sip your little whiskey drinks and watch children get murdered. That'd be fun, right? You should go to Israel. Go move to Israel.
Runs for mayor after being a ne'er-do-well for all 3 of his decades on the planet. The deep and abiding hatred that these people have for the United States is truly astonishing. It really, really is. And also, I will point out that the settler colonialist narrative, you'll find they only apply it to white Europeans and to Jews in Israel. Those are the groups that they apply it to. They never apply settler colonialism to, the Arab conquest of the entire region with the beginnings of Islam, all the way up to and including Spain.
Okay. I don't think about that. I'm sure if I looked into the history, of course, there is colonialism that took place in like the Islamic Middle East. Okay, I know Islam sucks in its own very special ways. I don't like religion no matter which religion it is. It just so happens that I live in a Christian fascist nation now. Okay, and it's more relevant to my life to study the shit that happened to this soil. And what happened to this soil is white Europeans came here, brought black slaves, ravaged the land, killed the native population, and populated it for themselves, okay? That's what happened to the place that I live in, that I grew up in. Was any of that my fault? No, okay? I experienced no guilt over that. I sleep very well at night knowing that I did not engage in that, okay? I didn't do that. That's just, but I can still acknowledge the reality, which you should as well, of how you ended up here. And pointing the finger at other countries and saying they did it too does not make it okay that it happened here. It doesn't. Like, I just don't understand this line of logic. I thought he was supposed to be the smart guy. I'm an idiot and I can tell you this shit, man.
That never applies. One of the great settler colonialist movements in human history is the growth
Well,
of
they did
Islam
it too.
From the Arab center in Saudi Arabia.
They did it too.
To encompass a huge swath of the globe.
Why don't you tell them that they did wrong stuff, the bad stuff?
In a general sense, the idea that human beings move around and take with them their values and that war and conflict are a norm in all of human history.
No, I refuse to accept that. War is not a norm. War does not exist in the animal kingdom. It's unnatural. War is unnatural, okay? I refuse to accept, and even if it were natural, mind you, it's not good. I don't have to accept that. That's called doomer posting. You are a doomer, Ben Shapiro. Oh, war just happens. No, the it doesn't. I expect better from my fellow man.
That's just real. Okay, that's just the way things work.
I believe in a future where war is abolished.
Settler colonialism.
What do you believe in?
Criticize Arab settler colonialism throughout the Middle East because this is the way humanity operates. That is the way.
But you literally do. Like, you pointed the finger at it. You're like, look at what they did. Look at what they did. They did the same thing. Oh, look at them. Look at them. You literally just did that, man. The fuck are you talking about?
Some of those colonialist movements are actually better in values than others of those colonialist movements. For example, I think the European settler colonialist movement is in fact morally better than the Muslim settler colonialist movement that came out of the Middle East.
I give up.
The 7th century and 8th century.
Keep going, man.
It is, just in terms of the values that it propagated. You know, things like private property and freedom of speech. The Anglo-American settler colonialist movement, as Mamdani is...
He doesn't even delve into why it's better, mind you. He's just like, well, I know that white people killed the natives in some places, but like that was better than when the Muslims did it. I'm not personally denying that Muslim people did that, mind you. Like I said, religion just sucks ass. Sorry, it does. All right? I hate to be Reddit atheist about it, but I'm going to be Reddit atheist about it. Like, religion historically has not been good when it comes to colonialism and genocide. So yeah, Muslims engaged in it too. Sure. But, like, you couldn't even give me an argument as to why it was better when the white Christians did it, and the white Jews or whatever. The white Christo-Judays, whatever. Oh, we share the same God. Whatever. Fuck you. I don't care which God you have. It sucks ass.
Suggesting here is morally better than other
Your God endorses slavery and murder.
Because not all people have the same culture and values. You know who should know this? Mahmoud Mamdani, who's a beneficiary of those Anglo-American values, sitting at a prestigious American university, able to say what he wants.
Anglo-American.
As opposed to, you know...
I don't live in Anglo-America. What the fuck is that Anglo shit? I live in goddamn America. I eat burgers on July 4th. I sit and watch fireworks and let my eardrums blast out. I pay top dollar for cruises to other countries where I can... I didn't even talk about this. On my cruise with Katie, this is such a tangent, sorry. But on my cruise with Katie, we went on Virgin Cruise... a Virgin cruise ship. What was it? Virgin Voyages. It's so funny because we went to this place called Puerto Plata, right? Maybe I did talk about this a little bit earlier. But we went to Puerto Plata, and we got to go to a sandbar. We took a bus out into the boonies, right? It took about an hour. And we got to take a little boat to this little sandbar, swim with the fishes. It was a great time. But we come back, right? And I didn't notice this leaving, but I notice... the bus drives into a fenced-off area, right? A walled-off area, and this wall consists of it's just like a stone wall with barbed wire on top. And outside of this wall sucks. Like it sucks. Okay, the people who live there live in shambles. Like it's a horrific existence for a lot of people there. There's a lottery booth every 2 miles, like you have McDonald's and the United States, right? It's garbage. I'm sorry, it's garbage. But then you get inside the gate, and it's just like plastic paradise, right? It's like tourist paradise. They dropped this off at the edge of this basically like an adult amusement park. It was like an adult water park. They had a little lazy river that some people were floating in. Everything looks fake. Everything looks plastic. It's all like artificially colored. You got people outside of the shop saying, come buy this, come buy this. Ooh, we have shirts for you. We have beach towels and jewelry and food. Come buy our food. Like it's so. It was the worst part of the trip. It was so gross. So gross. Oh, it's so what? You have no idea. And I just lost my mind walking all the way back to the boat. And all I could think about, like, it came up a lot in my brain the rest of the trip. I was like, I feel very uncomfortable. Like this, me personally, the white man, I felt personally offended by that. I forget what my point in all of this was, but I just felt like bringing that up.
Being back in Uganda, which is where he came from.
Hold on, let me rewind a little
sitting
bit.
At a prestigious American university, able to say what he wants.
I think where I was going with this is I'm a goddamn American. And I take tourists, but yeah, that's what I was saying. I take cruise ships to other countries and sit in their walled-off areas that are made specifically for me, and not the fucking brown people that live there. That's what I do as a goddamn American.
As opposed to, being back in Uganda, which is where he came from, with his family. Here he is, bragging on the United States.
A Christian.
Who is this fact check guy? What the fuck's going on? Donald J. Trump was predetermined to be president by the deterministic universe. Okay. Well, the deterministic universe sucks then. The YouTube channel Rise Up Pakistan has a video of it called Zohran Mamdani Anti-Hindu. Anti-Hindu slurs are chanted in background and he condones it. Why would he condone anti-Hindu slurs? What the fuck? Okay, send the video then. Source? He has never come out against Hindu people. What? What are you talking? What? I guarantee you've never given a flying about Hindu people, dude. First of all. And second of all, you're just lying. Like, Zohran Mamdani is not anti-Hindu. And if he is, I'd love to know about it. Please link. We'll stop the entire segment and go over just that, Mr. Fact Check. Let's take a look.
Nation state.
Until then, shut the fuck up.
Decides to cleanse it of all religious minorities, Jews and Muslims in particular. And at the same time launches
Hold on, I missed
to
this,
cleanse
sorry.
it. Christian nation state. Decides to cleanse it of all religious minorities, Jews and Muslims.
That's the video? Okay, hold on, sorry. I'm gonna have to rewind this again. This segment's... I'm stretching 12 minutes out into, like, 70. Sorry, Dubsy. The fuck is... What is... This is the... Wait. What?
मैं अंग्रेजी में दे सकता हूँ?
Can I give it in English?
Sat Sri Akal ji, my name is Zohran Kwame Mamdani. I am a candidate for New York State Assembly District 36, Astoria, Ditmar Steinway, Astoria Heights. I'm here today to protest against the BJP government in India and the demolition of the Babri Masjid and the attempt to build a mandir on top of the ruins of it. I'm here with my Sikh brothers and sisters. We have other protesters on the other side, and we are here to make clear that...
None of that demonstrated that he's anti-Hindu. Who are the Hindus, bastards? So he's protesting, like, if it's mainly the Hindus who are like, I'm sorry, I stand by what I said, religion sucks ass. Like, if it's primarily like a Hindu government trying to overtake a portion of... Is this really the best you got against Zohran, dude? Is this the best you got? A choppy video from an 8-subscriber goddamn channel where he doesn't even say anything anti-Hindu? The U.S. has a problem with Christian nationalism. Zohran's dad is correct. Modi is far right. This is the best they've got, man. That's sad as fact check. He does not condone anti-Hindu slurs. Okay? Also, he looks like he's 16 here. When is this from? This is a joke, right? Oh, well, this is probably from 2020, right? Because of the masks. He's probably 20-something. He's probably younger than I am now. Cough.
Muslims in particular. And at the same time launches a colonization experiment, the discovery of the Americas. America is the genesis
Okay, nice
of
cut.
what we call settler colonialism. And the American model was exported all around the world.
I mean, again, the absolute myopic insanity of that statement, that America is uniquely settler colonialist, as opposed to the Muslim countries that he is lauding as some sort of victims in all of this.
The dynamics upon which America was built are unique throughout history, because never before that time had there been a group of people that set out to sea to a completely, when I say completely, I mean across the planet, a foreign land and dominate it. That is unprecedented. So in that sense, it is very unique. We brought it with our disease and pestilence, our slavery, our guns, certainly our violence. Okay, is chopping off hands and forcing slaves to wear them around their necks good old-fashioned American values. Do you consider that American values, Ben Shapiro? Because that's what Christopher Columbus did. That's what he did. You're fine with that. You're defending Christopher Columbus. He condones the anti-Hindu crowd. Most people would disavow those sentiments. It makes him an anti-Hindu apologist. Dog, I don't care. I don't care. Okay, do you really think that if you struck down Mamdani about, like, the Hindu people, right? Like some random, like he just hates some random Hindu person who never did anything wrong to him. Do you really think he hates that guy? If you think that, you're stupid. You're just stupid. I don't know what to say to you. Like, you don't want good things. You will pull whatever minutia you can to stick it to Mamdani because you just don't want good things, and you have nothing. You have no other dirt on him. Like, this is the best dirt you have on him. Are you kidding me? You can get better dirt on me. There's a YouTube short where I burn an American flag. I think I've since removed it, but I'm not shy about the fact that it exists. And you could probably find it if you dug deep enough. I think there was one hater that I had who put it in his compilation. And you know what? I'll defend that too. That's my freedom of speech, motherfucker. Yeah, I burned an American flag. What of it? That was my goddamn right to do that. And to say that you hate Hinduism is also your right. As a red-blooded American, that's the best you got against Mamdani? F off.
Is totally insane. Totally insane. By the way, that's not the extent of his insanity. He also suggested that Abraham Lincoln's treatment of Native Americans was the basis of Hitler's treatment of Jews.
With the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. It is possible to do genocide. That's what Hitler realized.
Okay, yeah, Hitler never would have come up with the idea of going after the Jews if it were not for Abraham Lincoln's treatment of Native Americans. First of all, the treatment of Native Americans.
I actually don't know anything. I can't speak on this. I don't know anything about the history of Native Americans' treatment when it came to Lincoln's presidency. He could have been dog shit to them. He could have. I'm fine, though, with, like, venerating Abraham Lincoln and even George Washington. I'm fine with venerating them. Because, you know, as shitty as they were, the things that people venerate them for are not the slavery, are not the shit they did to Native Americans. It's for George Washington, it's the liberation from a monarchy. And for Abraham Lincoln, it's the freeing of the slaves. You know, like, if that's what we're teaching kids is good in schools, when we teach them about George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, they deserve the full truth. Don't get me wrong. Like, George Washington obviously was no saint, nor was Abraham Lincoln. I'm sure he had his bag of horrific policies. But at the same time, it's like, dog, they did do those good things too. Like, we can recognize that and venerate them for that. The fuck did Christopher Columbus do? Stumble across a land that he mistook for India because he doesn't know how to fucking navigate, and then he chopped off his slaves' hands and made them, I stress, chopped off his slaves' hands and that he owned and made them wear their own hands as necklaces. And this is the guy you're defending. Really? Okay, brother.
In America, which is shameful and poor, preceded Abraham Lincoln by several decades. Just a point.
Yeah, but you can still acknowledge that Abraham Lincoln participated in that.
The Trail of Tears was many, many years before Abraham Lincoln. 2, the idea that
the entirety, right? The entirety of what European immigrants did to the Native Americans was all wrapped up in the Trail of Tears. It doesn't go past that. Don't study any more than that.
Many years before Abraham Lincoln. 2, the idea that Hitler required the help of Abraham Lincoln in order to come up with his hatred of Jews is totally insane, actually. There are linkages between American politics.
I mean, he could I don't know the truth of this. Somebody, please state in the comments you know, if you have knowledge of this and can back it up, like, yeah, it's possible that Hitler took some of his models from stuff that Abraham Lincoln did to Native Americans. I don't know. I don't know. Like, please, I don't want to believe that. I would love to believe that Abraham Lincoln was a saint who all he ever did was free the slaves. You know, I am very apologetic toward that man because he did, after all, he was the president who was in charge when the slaves were freed, even though he didn't do reparations because he was killed because he freed the slaves. So I'm very willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, but if he did shitty things, then he did shitty things, and we should recognize that and cope with it.
See, with regard to eugenics, which is
Not
a
ignore it.
progressive left-wing movement in the United States in the 1920s, and Nazi policies of the same period and slightly thereafter.
Wait, whoa,
But that night,
hold on. That was a
American
lie.
policy with regard to eugenics, which is a progressive left-wing movement in the United States in the 1920s.
Since when? No. I'm calling bullshit. That's
And
a lie.
Nazi policies
That's just
of
a lie.
the same period and slightly thereafter. But that actually has more to do with the Woodrow Wilson progressives than it has to do with Abraham Lincoln. The reason he's attacking Abraham Lincoln is because he's trying to
Eugenics were never progressive. No,
tear
sorry.
down icons of America. That, again, is Zohran Mamdani's father. And this all...
It's so funny because you have to defer to Zohran Mamdani's dad because you can't actually state anything good that Columbus did except, well, you wouldn't be here if it weren't for Columbus. Yeah, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Hitler, too. That's true. And that's directly true. My dad's dad, my grandfather, was born in Nazi Germany, okay? I am a second generation American. My dad's first generation. His dad immigrated here from Germany. His dad was probably a Nazi. So I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Nazi Germany. I would still probably be somewhere in bumfuck nowhere Germany and speaking German. If at all exist, you know? So yeah, if it weren't for World War II and the Holocaust, me, Alec Gunter, would not be here right now. That does not mean that I condone World War II and the Holocaust. That's insane logic, man. This is what we're dealing with now. This is like supposed to be their intellectual god king or whatever. You know? Like, that's insane work.
speaks to why Zohran Mamdani identified himself as both Asian and Black or African American as a high school senior applying to college. You understand that those are extra
I don't
points
care.
for the left.
I don't care.
Like the racial diversity.
He doesn't even bring that up in his campaigning ever. He never brings up his race. Like, the only time he ever even acknowledges that he's a Muslim is when he's forced to.
So if you lie about your race, this guy is just as much lying about his race as Elizabeth Warren lied about her race.
Show me an
Zohran
example.
Mamdani
Prove
is
it.
not Black or
Prove it.
African American any more than
If he had any examples of this, you know what he'd do? He'd pull them up. Instead of pulling up shit that his dad said. I don't give a shit what his dad
many
said.
of my
frankly.
white South African
I don't
friends.
care.
He is not. He's of
My dad's a piece of shit. It does not speak on me as a person.
African American
Sorry.
any more than many of my white South African friends. He is not. He's of Indian heritage. His parents moved to Uganda when he was a kid, and then he moved.
Sorry, but we should not condone Islamophobia or Hinduphobia. It is not Islamophobia to point out that the Islamic religion has a lot of flaws and has led to a lot of conflict and strife. If you can recognize that about Christianity, you can recognize that about Islam. Why did you ban him? Who? Fact check? I didn't ban him. Probably the little noob that could. Oh, you're talking to the little noob that could. Got it. Probably banned him because he's a dumbass. Also, fact check and truth seeker. Gee. I wonder if that's a
He's
sock.
out of Uganda when he was also a kid. He was born in Uganda. His parents moved out of Uganda.
I wonder why it took a minute for Truth Seeker to come in and back up his buddy Fact Check. For those, okay, wait, hold on. Just to show you guys real quick. Here's what I'm looking at right here. The fucking YouTube chat right there. Totally different people, right? Fact check gets banned. Truth seeker 5 minutes because he has to take a minute. You know, he's got the two the two what is it, the 2FA on. He's got the 2FA on. What's up, Truth Seeker? Don't ban him. Don't ban him. I want to see what he does.
Uganda when he was also a kid. He was born in Uganda. His parents moved out of Uganda to the United States when he was a child. But he has the temerity, by the way, to suggest that he is an African American, having spent a few years in the continent of Africa.
Wait. I was supporting Zohran Mamdani. Sorry, I'm more invested in this guy than I am in Ben Shapiro now. I was supporting Zohran Mamdani until I saw he condones Hindu phobia. I'm a proud Indian. Then you're an idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, his current campaign has given no Hindu phobia. What do you think he's going to do? Take office and kill all the Hindus? Huh? What do you think he's going to do? Throw you all in a concentration camp? No, I'm sorry. That's just not the case. I hate fascist Trump and want to see Zohran Mamdani's socialist policy, but I can't support Hinduphobia. He's not Hindu-phobic, man. I don't know what to tell you. If that's honestly your gripe against him and that's why you don't support him, you're a fucking idiot. Grow some brain cells. I don't know.
But he has the temerity, by the way, to suggest that he is an African American, having spent a few years in the continent of Africa. Well, Jews who have spent generations going like back 3,000 years.
See, like, that's crazy. This is crazy work. Like, literally, this wasn't even supposed to be about Zohran Mamdani. I don't know how we got here. We were supposed to be talking about Superman. But like halfway through this video, we just started talking about Zohran somehow. Like, this is the best they got. This is the best they got. We got this dumbass in chat talking about how he's Hindu-phobic because of one choppy video from an 8-subscriber channel where he's like standing there talking about how they're doing some shit in India that I have known nothing about, that he's against, all right? Like, the one video ever that might possibly implicate, perchance, maybe, that he's Hindu-phobic, I guess. Like, they have that, and then Ben Shapiro is like, well, one time he said he's African-American because he lived in Africa for a little bit. That doesn't make him African-American. Like, that's the best they got. They are terrified of this guy. Truth Seeker and Ben Shapiro are alike. They are terrified of this guy. Or should I call you Fact Check? Do you prefer Fact Check or Truth Seeker? I'm sorry. But they can't do anything. They can't do anything. Sorry, man. Zohran Mamdani is coming in, and there's nothing you can do about it.
In Israel are settler colonialists, or Americans who spend hundreds of years in the United States are settler colonialists. That's the way this idiotic...
You know exactly what he said? He needs to issue an apology? You're right. He should do that right after he implements socialism in New York City. Okay? Fine. Sure. Whatever. Have him issue an apology to the fucking dudes. I don't care, as long as he does socialism.
Logic works. It's just... There is no standard.
Fair enough.
There is only a double
Whatever.
standard. If you are of the left, you get to claim that you are a diverse heritage victim of white supremacy, no matter who you are or how much you lie.
That's me.
And that's
That's
Zohran
me.
Mamdani in a nutshell. Well, that's all for now.
He's right.
Don't
I talk about all the time how I'm a victim of white supremacy. Because I'm a leftist. Islamophobia and Hinduphobia are super... No. Islamophobia... Listen, I don't know about Hinduphobia. That sounds like a weird thing in the United States. Let me end the segment first, and then we'll address this. Ben Shapiro is stupid as always. This was supposed to be about Superman, and then because he can't help himself, and he's so Islamophobic, he devolved into just shitting on Zohran Mamdani even more. My goat, Zohran, who I love to talk about, but was not expecting to talk about in this segment. He's just gonna help himself. He just hates brown people too much, right? So, yeah, it was supposed to be about Superman, but, you know, you gotta shit on Zohran, right? Like I said, they're terrified of the man. Terrified. They cannot stop talking about him and how much they hate him because they know. They know Zohran's coming for their asses, okay? And there's nothing they can do about it. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.